welcome to Reddit on Reddit, the internet's auditory version of Reddit. I'm Nelson Allingham, joined by Michael Campbell.
We made it. There was a real danger we wouldn't make it to this one, but we made it.
Yep. We had to fight a mob of angry citizens.
Yep. Trying to stop us, obviously.
Yeah, because they don't want us to record the podcast. That's what it was about.
And we understood.
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah.
But,
we fought against it.
Yeah, we said that if we don't do it, we're going to die because of the devil or something.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Whatever joke we did.
You know, the backstory, the lore to this podcast. We said that will happen. They wouldn't have it, though. No, we had a flat tire.
Yeah, we just had to change the tire.
Yeah.
Just doing it on the side of the road in the cold was not fun. But we made
it. Changing a tire is never a fun thing.
No.
I feel like nobody ever
What
wants
if you were in Ibiza and there was like a party going on around you?
Oh, is that a thing?
It'd be annoying to actually do it in the sand.
Oh, yeah, that'd be...
The car would sink into the sand and you have to like jack it up even higher.
Where's the most enjoyable place you could change a tire?
Now that I think about it,
Yeah.
I guess it's in the cold on the side of the road.
Yeah. We actually had perfect conditions. We just didn't appreciate it at the time.
No.
So think about that. Anyway, also I've got to be somewhere.
Oh, yeah. We were already on a timeline.
Yeah. All right, let's get into it. This first Reddit on Reddit was cross-posted to us by Gone Fish Caking, but it was originally by Background Tennis 662. Am I the arsehole for being upset at my vegan sister-in-law, white Christian, for saying that she feels the slavery and the Holocaust is not that bad compared to people eating meat while talking to black people? She proceeded to debate with another family member who is black. I was stuck in the middle of the conversation, also black. I came from a side of understanding for people choosing veganism. I do feel guilty quite frequently for eating meat, and honestly, I really don't cook it often. I was not her direct debate opponent, but felt so uncomfortable that she kept looking at me, and also felt comfortable to start this argument around her black family members. She proceeded to hammer home her point using super violent examples of why meat eating is bad, some including harming human children. She stated black slaves had it good. And it wasn't that bad because at least they had beds. She also stated the whole... Okay, I'm just jumping ahead here in assumptions. Is she saying that the animals don't have beds?
Yeah.
That's rough.
That's how I'm reading it.
Okay, that is fucking wild. Do you reckon if you gave a bed to an animal, it'd be like, sick? I've been waiting for one of these.
It's like
nice pillow.
The famous example is like you get a dog, like a nice dog bed, and it'll just go sleep on the floor next to it.
Yeah. Anyway, she also stated the Holocaust doesn't seem that bad compared to what animals have to go through. She even explained that at least some people were killed quick, so it's better than what animals have to deal with. I'm not one for debate. I'm open to hearing opinions and sides without the fighting. It just seems out of line to use atrocities over other races/religions as examples. The fact that she couldn't use examples using things that actually directly affect her as a white Christian woman, but chose to do below the belt to convince her audience seems out of line. I feel she demonstrated an insane level of entitlement, especially to essentially use other races/religions' pain and compare them to animals. She eventually used the example of land, the environment, etc. While I feel this is a very strong argument, which I feel like is a very strong argument. Sorry, that was me. That wasn't them. So I don't know why she started with what she did. Granted, she was probably somewhat drunk, but she made it seem like she has had this conversation before. She ended the long debate with laughter and respect because the other person partially agreed with her. Oh, God. She even said she's okay with people lessening their harm through choosing alternatives when possible. So it seems unnecessary to have gone to that extreme. I've dealt with a lot of race trauma that I've been trying to open up more about. I'm very upset with her. I just smiled and nodded as that's what I've been taught to do by my family when it comes to race issues, and probably a reason I feel so much trauma now as an adult. I feel like I may hold some resentment and lack of trust with her now. I don't know how to move forward, so my default is just to act like everything is fine. Try to forget and move forward. I'm trying to get advice on thoughts moving forward, though. I'm sure this isn't healthy. I hate conflict, though, and don't want to upset her or feel I disrespect her for being vegan. This whole situation doesn't sit right. Am I the asshole for being upset with her and just being overly sensitive, or just being overly sensitive, or is it normal for people to debate like this?
I mean, I wish I could remember the name, but there's a argument tactic that says if you to your opponent evoke Hitler, then you have morally lost that argument because you are going to the extreme immediately to be like it's people when people say, well, Trump is just Hitler, for example, they say you're losing the moral ground immediately.
How about if you talk about like somebody like, I don't know, Genghis Khan or
yeah.
somebody who's like...
I would say that's probably the only time where it's like, gee, Pol Pot really was kind of like Hitler. Like he was really rounding them up and killing them.
Yeah.
And I see a little bit of that in this. There's so many angles to this, none of which are in this white Christian girl's favor.
Yeah.
Which is one, I think this is what time does. Like the further you get away from something, the less I think people really actually comprehend.
Yeah.
Like slavery, like that was abolished, a long, long time ago. And well, yeah.
Surprisingly not that long ago.
Relative to our lives.
Yeah.
And it's same with the Holocaust, but there are still people around that will have witnessed it, although less and less and less.
Yeah.
But if you ask them, they will have a different opinion to this lady who's never had to actually face the consequence of those. But also, for her personally, they wouldn't have been that bad because she's not the people that were being targeted in either of these situations either.
I've looked at my family's history, and the white Christians did fine during the Holocaust. So.
They really did. Like I'll be honest, some of them were doing it.
Yeah.
So I think that like both of those detachments for her.
Yeah.
She's like, I wasn't around to really see it, and also it wouldn't have affected me anyway. It can't have been that bad.
Yeah.
Is a real blind spot for her to not comprehend.
I want to touch on that point that you made about sort of the distance between something happening. This is slightly off topic, but I think it's a really interesting sort of acknowledgement and observation, I guess. I might have even brought this up on the podcast before because I was listening to this woman who had written a book about what would actually happen in a nuclear war.
Yeah.
She tries not to be political about it, just about like, what is likely to happen that will cause one, and what devastating effects will happen from it. One of the things that she touches on is how the further on we go, after the first development of nuclear weaponry, and further on for uses of that, like Hiroshima, for example, the more we become disconnected to what it really means or meant to build a nuclear weapon in the first place.
Yeah.
And so as generations go by, you think like they don't understand that, like, really if any one country fires a nuke, it is condemning them and their country to death.
Yeah.
It's meant to literally be a deterrent and nothing else. They are never actually meant to be fired. But there is no possible scenario. But there's, I guess that the thing is, people will lose this message as time goes on. They won't understand the significance of how devastating nuclear warheads are. And so the chances of one leader in future just being like, fuck it, I'm going to nuke you. How do we feel about that? And then for it to cause the death is highly likely. Anyway, so it's kind of like that same sort of thing, that disconnect from what it really means to have gone through something like this, or the the significance and how much pain and whatever anguish these events have caused, versus how somebody much further away from it feels about it.
Yeah.
You know, a completely different.
But like, I am not either saying that there are not horrific meat practices. There definitely are.
Yeah.
But it is fucking wild
Yeah.
to put that with like the systematic ratification of people or the enslavement, just kidnapping and enslavement of people.
I mean, we have to understand though that it is because of levels of intelligence, basically, right? Like, because what we're saying is, like, we need to know and acknowledge animals' lives are worth less than humans.
Yeah.
Realistically, because
And also,
as
like,
much as that is it seems difficult to say and painful to say, but like that's kind of the truth of it.
also in nature, animals eat animals.
Yeah,
Like it is a natural thing.
yeah.
And while we have got to the point where we can technically survive off not doing that now, like with our farming and infrastructure and stuff like that, I don't think what we're doing is against it is our human nature.
Yeah.
Or just nature on this planet, I suppose.
Yeah.
For animals to eat animals.
Yeah. And I can foresee a future where the whole world are vegans, or at least let's say vegetarian.
Yep.
And they look back on our current time and be like, what the they just slaughtered thousands of animals because, like, yeah, sure, it's natural, but they didn't have to anymore. Like, we can absolutely survive off, well, maybe not like tomorrow.
Yes,
but, you know, we could build the infrastructure so that we could
I'd love to get
tomorrow.
there. If they could find a way to do, like, lab-grown meats or alternatives that are the same, gave you the same nutritional, like, iron.
I mean, that's the thing, though. You could easily have that from vegetables and like if we even disregarding lab-grown meat and stuff, we have the ability to be just as nutritional as the meat eaters that we are today.
So what my point was is it's not the killing of the animals I enjoy.
Yeah.
If that can be replaced without killing animals, that would be great. Like, I have no problem with. I know there are people out there that are like, I'd never eat the fake stuff or whatever. Couldn't care less.
Yeah, that's insane.
I'll eat whatever if it tastes nice.
Yeah.
And if it's saving animals, that would be great. But yeah, like I really hope that there probably is a day in the future that everyone is vegetarian.
Yeah.
And this does seem barbaric.
Yeah. I will not be giving it up, though.
No.
I will be the older generation. You know, like maybe I'm the great, you know, grandfather in the generation, and I'm like, oh, I still eat meat. And
everyone's like, Granddad.
Yeah, like, oh, this is, you can't say that anymore. I'm like, I don't care. Give me a steak.
I want to kill a cow.
That is the problem, Cambo. If we stop killing cows, will they take over?
It is a very real possibility. I've crunched the numbers.
Yeah.
Mainly because we farmed so many of them to eat.
Yeah. They'll work it out.
Yeah.
They'll be like, evolution will... That's why we have to keep killing them off so quickly. Is because once they work it out, once they can develop the written language and pass down information from generation to generation, that's when we're in trouble.
Oh, sorry, in case this wasn't clear, this person is absolutely not the asshole, by the way.
Oh, yeah, true. It's a shame that they have had some of their opinions that they have, like, feeling as though that they can't, you know, they have to smile and nod. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to these, like, race issues and stuff, it's that really sucks in itself. But anyway, not the arsehole. All right, Cambo, let's get into Ask Reddit. Ask Reddit. This Ask Reddit is by Crosswest by Dumbitch 1998, but is originally by Pumpkin Seed 776. If you were starving to death, could you prolong it by cutting off your own body parts and eating them? I have genuinely wondered this before.
Yeah.
Like, could you do that?
Yeah, the energy that you get from...
Also, this is another part. We regenerate, like, some parts of our body. Like skin, for example.
Yes.
could I just eat my own skin?
Oh.
It's gross, isn't it? Just like a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
It regenerates, comes back to me. I don't think you wouldn't be able to eat enough.
There must be. I mean, there's potential that we're going to look even more foolish than we normally do. But there is a bit of me that understands the idea that, like, extremities
Yeah.
surely you could live without and could provide you with. But like,
Yeah.
are you getting much meat off like a finger or something?
Yeah, because you'd think about starting there, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that
Or
was
toes, maybe.
Or toes.
You're like, the middle toe, what does that do? You don't need the
Something to do
middle
with-
toe.
Something to do with balance, I think. But
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, that's obviously the
Sit
purpose
down.
of toes. But I feel like if I've got my big toe and my little toe,
they're
that's doing
anchors.
that's doing most of the work, from side to side. If I'm gonna start, I'll start with the middle toe.
I actually wouldn't start with the middle toe. I'd start with the one next to your smallest because the middle toe is the longest. So I think that's doing some balance, as in like that's at the front, and then you got your two anchors on the side. Then you got that little one. That's just kind of in the middle,
in between.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your second and third toe,
Yeah,
you'd start with.
They're
you
the
think?
ones I would start
Okay.
with, I
Yeah,
think.
that's fair enough. That's fair enough. And then do you go fingers? What's next?
Yeah. You'd
Because
probably
ultimately
What about
you
like
need to
your
decide
ear?
between ear. Get
Yeah.
rid of what? Because you can still hear.
you can still hear your
if
earlobe.
you're just chopping off the.
I've always said this, Nelson. Your
Yeah.
earlobes are nice to have,
yeah.
but they're not 100% necessary.
And nutritious, I've heard. How about nose?
There's a lot of cartilage and bone in it, though. Would you get much from it?
Yeah, you're not getting much from that,
Yeah.
are you?
Then
But I'm thinking, am I doing nose before I'm doing like leg, for example? You know?
What you need is your biggest bang for buck body part.
Yeah.
To meat to bone ratio needs to be good.
I mean, realistically,
It's like around the gut. That's good old big chunks of meat. But
okay.
you can't really be taking.
it's harder to
Yeah.
like just shave off a bit of your gut.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Especially presumably at this stage, you've been starving for a while. Like it hasn't just been a weekend on a desert island.
You're not just a bit peckish.
Yeah. I think. Are you? What do you think about chopping off a leg versus an arm?
I would probably chop off a leg, I think.
Yeah, I think I would too. Because I
Imagine
feel like
cooking with one arm now.
what a nightmare. I think do you know, I don't know why, but as soon as you said that, I imagined like, well, I can flip meat in a pan one-handed. But I was like, am I on a desert island with a pan? There's a stove top.
Yeah.
I could really easily. Yeah. It's difficult to say because obviously if you cut off a leg and you're on again a desert island, difficult to get around.
Especially if a rescue boat comes and they're like,
Yeah.
we can't come ashore, you swim to us.
Yeah.
Like, oh no.
Yeah, could I swim better with one hand or one leg? Because I'm thinking maybe I'm tempted to go leg, but I think as soon as you go leg, you're getting around that island way less. So maybe you should go one hand, one
Yeah.
arm, so that you can then at least walk around the island and try to, I don't know, get more stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like cutting off your leg, day to day, you could argue that you probably do more with your hands to like prepare food and stuff like that. But anything danger is going to really impede your ability to get away with one leg.
Yeah.
So if you're doing this to survive, which you clearly are you actually hurting your chances of survival by also cutting off your leg and decreasing your chances to escape anything that might also be a danger?
Yeah. How about I've got it. But
Yeah, that's interesting.
you're not going to be sitting around, are you? Too much work to do.
I mean, there's also one that we haven't talked about, Nelson. Are you going to be using it on the island?
never. I would
Or
never.
constantly. What else you do it?
Yeah, exactly.
They'd be like, we rescued him, and I'll be honest, he was in very high spirits.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing on that island.
Yeah. Well, he looked exhausted, actually. But, really huge right hand.
You said there's no rush to rescue him.
Yeah. That's pretty ridiculous. I'm moving on, Cambo.
Okay.
We don't have enough time. Let's get into Today I Advise. So now it's time for Today I Learned. Today I Learned. And also sometimes advice. This advice was posted by Fabulous Pen 5193. I, 28 female, in a long-term relationship, have a debilitating crush on a coworker, 31 male. What does this mean for my relationship? How do I deal with it? Per the title, I, 28 female, have been with my boyfriend, 28 male, for 5+ years. We've had our ups and downs, but we are definitely in a good place. I have some issues with his lifestyle choices. Not very adventurous. Main goal is stability/routine. But otherwise, think he is a really good man and I love him. However, I have a coworker, 31 male, that I have a massive crush on. He's good looking and funny and has lived a very interesting life. I'd say we're good friends, but can tell that I like him too much. We work in a smallish office, so I see him all the time, and it has gotten really hard to be around him. I find myself blushing and getting twitchy whenever he is around. I would never cheat, and I'm trying my best to distance myself from my coworker, but it's really hard to do in an office so small, and I worry people can tell that I'm acting weird around him. I don't know how to proceed because it has been almost 2 months that I've felt like this, and no matter what I do, it doesn't seem to get easier to interact with him. I also, of course, feel really bad because my boyfriend doesn't deserve this. I just don't know how to proceed.
Now, if we know Reddit, they'll all say, well, break up with your boyfriend. Because that's the first advice they ever give.
Obviously. Every relationship must be ended. That's the real relationship advice. Don't be in one.
Yeah. The mods of relationship advice.
Then you don't need to have the relationship advice.
That's true. It's like celibacy. Like the best way to not get sexually transmitted diseases is not to have sex.
Yeah.
The best way not to get your heart broken, never enter a relationship.
It's actually easy. It's actually pretty easy. No, I did read the comments and that wasn't the case.
Okay.
People were saying a crush is fleeting.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah,
and obviously don't get involved with this because as soon as the crush becomes real, then it's not. Yeah. It's not meaningful anymore. You lose the sparkle of the crush.
Yeah.
Which I agree with definitely. But it is funny, right? Because we've heard of stories where this has happened and you're like, oh, this is awkward. Somebody just left their partner of however many years for their crush at work. The secretary at work, you know, is the classic example. But then sometimes it's and then they go on to have several kids and married and they really love each other and it's the best relationship. And you're like, that's not how that story was meant to go. Because we feel as though the crush shouldn't deserve the love of the person for so long.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm saying definitely not in this case because she's so happy with her boyfriend. But I liked this one because I felt as though it was so earnest.
Yeah.
Just I've got this problem. I feel like so many people are not maybe this honest with themselves where they might deny that they've got a crush on somebody at work or something because they don't, want to...
It's a hard thing to admit to yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was really...
If anything, this gives me a crush on them because they're so earnest.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's a difficult thing. Have you ever had a crush on somebody while being in a relationship before?
Yeah,
Something
yeah,
that's like-
I'm sure I have. I feel like I like a lot of people, like not to the point of having a crush on everyone.
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
got on really well with people.
Yeah, yeah.
And even if I have ever had a crush on someone, I always think of it the same way of being like, that'll pass.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, that's whatever. That'll pass.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like surely when I was younger, working around a lot of like young, vibrant people my own age.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm
yeah,
sure,
yeah.
I was probably in a relationship, but also was like, I've got a crush on them. Yeah, like,
Yeah. Because definitely, I know for certain while I've been with Ellen, I've never had a crush on anybody else during that time.
smart, Nelson, smart.
Yeah. But like obviously in the past I have, and I think it's funny, because it's I don't know, like it's a difficult thing to try and talk yourself out of potentially of like this idea. But I think what I have done in the past is I've noticed the flaw in my crush that I know
Would end the relationship.
Yeah, is the reason why we don't gel, that we wouldn't last in an actual relationship.
Yeah.
That's my like advice to somebody who's got a crush, I think, is like focus on that, on like really analyze the person that you're talking to, because it's like, we love all the same stuff. We joke around a bit, blah blah blah, and like, but they really like, I don't know, hunting or something like that. And then you're like, and they might talk about it occasionally, and I just to humor them and talk to them and be polite about it. But like, if I was in a relationship, you really have to think about how something like that would really get in the way.
Yeah.
And I reckon most of the time you can like identify those flaws that you probably couldn't get past in a crush.
It's also funny, like I don't know whether this is us just being a little bit older, or to your point, like since you've been with Ellen, you haven't had a crush on anyone else, which is, I feel the same in that, like, genuinely other people no longer interest me.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I think it is that thing, right? Like, even if you get along well with somebody,
Yeah.
I feel like when you're younger, you're like, oh, this is a crush.
yeah.
But when you're older, you can be like, I just get along well with this person or something like
definitely.
that.
Like, I work with a lot of like females my own age that I get along with, and I wonder if in my younger years,
you're
you
like,
would have
"Oh?"
thought, but now that doesn't even cross my mind.
Yeah.
just be like, they're my friend.
Yeah.
you can just be friends with people and get along with them.
Or maybe you've been like, I've got a mortgage with Stacey. Like, what a mess this would be if I had a crush and this went somewhere. Like the financials
It just doesn't work out.
really would be messy. I don't think I can do that. Yeah.
Isn't it funny that like I didn't think about it until you just said it, but yeah, I just generally don't think. I just don't think I think about other people that way.
I
at
think
all.
it's also because we know that we're with women who could do better than
Oh
us.
yeah.
And
we're not idiots.
yeah. Like, we can't risk that.
Yeah.
We can't risk a crush when we know we're already batting way above our average.
I don't know whether this is okay to talk about or not, but we all went out for dinner last night.
Yeah.
And there's a conversation similar to this that came up, where I'm going to say this is fine, where they said, do you think anyone that listens to your show
Oh, yeah.
has
okay,
a crush
so-
on you guys?
Yeah.
And we had said no.
No.
No. And I think
you guys are the idiots for having the crush on us.
I think I had said, what about our behavior do you think would lead people to have a crush on us? But then to that point, they were like, well, we like you.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever been like, yeah, why is that?
What? How did we fool you? feel like I could have used that in my youth. Whatever trickery I've done. I think what happened, Cambo, is they settled. They were like, I'm getting older. I guess I'll go with the next chump that walks in front of me.
Hello!
Yeah. And then like, I guess so. All right. That's pretty much how it happened. Anywho.
It'll pass, is our advice.
It'll pass. Focus on their flaws. The real thing that you know wouldn't jive. You know what? You need to get really involved in stuff like politics or something. You know, there's stuff that people avoid in friendly conversations. Dive heavily into that stuff to really find the ground where you disagree with each other. Because maybe it's not politics. Maybe it's religion. Maybe it's children or something. Maybe it's whatever. I reckon, get into the nitty-gritty of conversation. And if anything, they might be so put by how deep you're trying to get the conversations that they stop flirting with you.
Also, this person in a relationship has also not said whether this other person they have a crush on is in a relationship. It might be a completely moot point.
True. Yeah. All right, Cambo, let's move into shower thoughts.
Shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts.
This shower thought is by Surya753. A group chat named after you is the one you're least likely to be.
I screenshot this and sent it to a group chat that I'm in.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, Reddit does not like when you screenshot. Do you know this?
Oh,
if you screenshot on the app, a little thing comes up and goes, "Oh, you can just share the post. You can actually just share the link for the post." It's like, yeah, no, I know.
Yeah. We get it.
I understand.
I know how to use technology. Reddit.
And I sent it to a group chat that I'm in because it is named after someone who is in the group chat. Purely because the pun of the name was just too funny.
Okay, yeah.
His last name is Westbury, one of the guys.
Yeah.
And the group chat is called the Westbury Baptist Church.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Pretty funny.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, that's.
But that's one of the rare times I could be like, oh no, this is actually named after someone in the chat.
Yeah. I think then you've got the other scenarios is only like obviously when they're not in the chat.
Yeah.
It's like a surprise for them.
Yeah.
Maybe you're getting a birthday present for them. Or obviously the more obvious one, you're slagging them off. You're like, this person is an absolute piece of trash.
Yeah.
Let's have a group named after. But then I think it's also a pun. I think you could be like, if you all of a sudden hated Luke, you could be like, we're the Westbury Devil Church. Oh, really get him, you know?
So the thing is, I think there's another example of this. My sister bloody loves a group chat.
Oh.
She'll start a group chat at the drop of a hat.
Oh, okay.
But what she's taken to doing lately is she has one with like all of us siblings and stuff.
Yeah.
And then she'll be like, okay, like now I'm organizing. Recently it was her 30th. Yeah. So she changes the name of the group chat.
Oh, that's wild. That is wild.
To be like, Kate's 30th chat.
No, you can't do that.
And I think now she may have changed it to just a generic name.
Yeah.
But there would be like,
that's totally unacceptable. You can't. Why would you do that? That's insane. I couldn't appreciate a new chat with the same people for the purpose of a specific event. Because sometimes you might be like my family's done it if we're going on a trip to like Tasmania or something. It's like Tasmania chat so that we know like the itinerary, our flights, things like that we want to. You don't want to scroll through a whole family chat to get back to you know when we spoke about that. So I can appreciate that, but just renaming the chat is an insane. That's what insane people do. Yeah, my mum recently started a new chat with the family. We've got the regular family chat, then this new one that's it's like who, what, when, where, or something like that. Or place and time
for events. It sounds like.
Yeah. But one of the funny things was she was like, I'm getting old and I need to, I want to put everything in here. And so we've got like my niece had like a play, so I was like, Lauren, can you put this in? So it's good. So there's just like less chatter and it's easy to find stuff. But then she said, Nelson and Ellen, can you put your wedding in? And I was like, this feels like if you need a reminder in our chat about our wedding, you don't deserve to be
Also, like, I feel like pictures of events is regular family chat stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas this one sounds like it is like, hey, this is coming up. This is where it is.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, I want you to say that your wedding's coming up, what day it is.
Oh, I thought you meant she wanted like photos of
No. She wanted details of the wedding event.
Look,
and I just thought, that's so unnecessary because aside from anything,
Nelson?
She's got her own flight beforehand.
Well, my point is, did she or did she not miss the flight to your wedding?
She actually, yeah. Okay, that's true.
So maybe she needed a little reminder, Nelson.
Yeah. She woke up that morning and was like, what? It's today?
I've been checking the group chat all week.
Yeah. Well, no, that's kind of part of it, right? Because it was like, it's not that because she was on her own flight. So it's not like she would have put in this group chat her own flight details. In the past, when we've had like a family event and we're all on the same flight, and maybe my dad's booked it for everyone, then he'll put that sort of information in. But I was like, you've got your own information on your flight.
Yeah.
So like, you don't need to share that with the group. That's just like your own thing.
But
so
all your siblings were on that same flight.
Yes.
So surely you're the only one not on that flight, really, of your siblings.
Yes.
So you would have thought that would have been a group chat thing.
Yeah, but
if the majority of you are on the same flight.
But also tickets bought independently.
Okay.
Depends if
Got you.
Anyway.
Yeah.
The point is she needed to be there well before the date and time of the wedding. And she knew that there was going to be a bus that was picking us up from the place that we were staying to the venue. Like, there was just no need to put exactly the time and day of the wedding. Anyway, so then what it became kind of funny is that in that chat that's just meant to be time and place of event, me and my siblings kind of ragged on my mum about needing the chat in the first place and needing it for the wedding. And so there was just a lot of chatter, and then all the other events just were much further up.
I think the thing that my sister struggles with is maybe her husband's family is like a better group chat family, and she has ambitions for our family to get there.
No.
But our family is not a good group chat family.
I know your family enough.
Yes. Yeah. In that, if it like our family's big on the tall poppy thing.
Yeah.
If someone's standing up, you cut them down.
Yeah.
And
Even slightly.
and we have got better because it clearly upsets my sister. So we do try and be like, okay, we don't need to make a joke out of everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that she has ambitions for this group chat to be more. But generally, it's like, hey, this event's coming up. Will you attend? And she puts a poll.
Yeah.
And people just
a
vote.
poll? Oh my God.
And people just vote.
Yeah.
And then the next event will be the same thing. With maybe one or two comments being like, sounds fun, from like a sister-in-law or something.
Yeah. Okay.
My point is,
Maybe a poll is good, actually.
It's
I
the most
thought it was
efficient.
wild, but actually, people are more likely to be like, I can just click a button.
Yeah, it's
on
like,
this.
I can attend, I cannot attend on this date.
Okay,
This
all right. I take it back.
Yeah,
That's
it's
pretty
efficient.
good. Yeah.
Because then I don't have to do it. I just go in and I click no to every
Yeah. Here's another one. This is by Buckle Up. It's the last thing you feel when you get your head cut off is often your head smashing into the ground, not your head getting cut off. I think this has made me want to die by getting my head cut off.
What do they... So I need to wrap my head around this, ironically.
They're saying that
You still have...
your head being severed, I assume by guillotine they're implying,
Yeah.
would be that you wouldn't instantly die.
You'd still have...
There's
something's
a few
firing in your brain.
milliseconds, or perhaps seconds, who knows,
Yeah.
of time where you would be like, oh, my head's fallen off, and then I'm dead, and I hit my head.
Yeah.
That's maybe be like, that's That's how I want to go now.
Guillotine.
Guillotine, head chopped off, to have this moment of, because I reckon it's so quick, you'd be like, I'm not in pain.
Yeah.
But you'd be like, whoa, I can see my body. I reckon that'd be cool.
This is a maybe a morbid thought, but like of the ways to go, that'd be pretty quick.
Yeah.
But painful for probably like millisecond.
Yeah.
And there's been the documentaries recently about the Ocean Gate implosion and how quick that was. And a lot of people have said, as I guess like a way to think about this in a slightly positive light, if you can, is that they would not have even noticed this happening. It was so quick.
Yeah.
It's like their brain would not even have registered pain.
Yeah.
They were just gone.
Yeah, that's true.
And part of me is like, is that, if you're going to go, is that one of the... Because you would have probably been quite excited at the time. You know, you're deep in the ocean, you're having whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know enough about what happened without watching the documentary. Maybe they started panicking 10 minutes before or something. I don't know.
Maybe that would suck.
Imagine just like, gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a weird thought.
Yeah, it is. It is interesting. But imagine this, Cambo. You get head chopped off, you can see your body.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty good.
All right, let's move on into podnapping.
Oh my God, I'm being podnapped!
Podnapping.
This is Podnapping, where we nap a pod. We take a topic of conversation or a segment from another thing, and we do it ourselves. This week is my week, and I got one here from Tilly. I'm assuming Matilda. And it's a good one because I can play along as well.
Oh, great.
We have done something like this before, for sure, but I don't know if we specifically went to this website. It's called higherorlowergame.com.
Okay.
But what's good about this one is there's a bunch of different categories, so we can choose on them, and it goes even more into a niche scenario. Now, I was going to give you all the categories, and then you could choose one, but there is one called Reddit.
Okay.
So should we just do that one?
Yeah, let's do that one.
I like it. We're like, nah, we're probably not going to do well, but oh, this is actually even more specific to something that you've done recently, which is guess which subreddit has more subscribers.
Oh yeah, we
on
did.
Reddit.
We did do that recently.
But let's do it anyway. Okay. Is it? Okay, thank God. This one is going to be easier straight away. So we have to try and get a high score, by the way. You know,
Yes.
that's one of the things.
So we're always looking for the higher. We need to select
we're
the
looking
higher.
for the higher.
Yeah.
Yeah. First one is r/fauxmoi, FAUXMOI.
Yep.
Or r/gifs.
Gifts.
We gotta go gifs. Boom. 22 million versus 5.4 million is way more than I thought.
Yeah, no, I know that subreddit. It's like, do you? I don't know. You wouldn't. But there's a profile called Dunois
Yeah.
that is just celebrity gossip,
Right. Yeah.
and it's the thing about it is people just write in with no evidence,
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
and they're like, "Yeah, I'm having an affair with Ben Affleck."
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
like, "Oh, scandalous!" And they'll just
yeah.
publish it.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of celebrities that are like, "Hey, can you not?" Just
Yeah.
like put unverified stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
The
a very
thing
popular.
Is, I
profile.
actually am having an affair with Ben Affleck, so which is awkward.
So it's an unofficial, I believe, subreddit that posts a lot of the similar stuff, and that's a very like popular profile.
Okay. Yeah. The next one is r/outdoors versus r/gifs.
Okay, how many did gifts have last?
22 million.
Oh, do Redditors go outdoors? Is the question.
Or did they wish enough that they went outdoors?
Yeah. Or maybe they're there because they're like, don't need to go outdoors. I'm
Yeah.
on r/outdoors.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
getting all the nature I can in beautiful 4K resolution.
They're also a subscriber of Nature is Lit.
Yeah. What are you vibing?
I'm still vibing gifts.
I am also still vibing gifts.
But I reckon outdoors is maybe up there. All right, let's do gifts. 5.1 million for r/outdoors.
Yeah.
All right, so now we keep outdoors, but now we've got r/introvert Oh, you could say the direct opposite of r/outdoors.
Couldn't be more in opposition to outdoors.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
extrovert. This one actually, I'm struggling with a bit. I'm tempted to say outdoors, but I feel like r/introvert could surprise me.
It'd just be weird for a bunch of them to get together.
Yeah.
I think outdoors.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to go with outdoors too. Let's see. Oh, yes, okay, 2.8 million for r/introvert. Okay, so now we've got r/AMD versus r/introvert.
What is r/AMD?
As in the TV channel, the production company, like AMD's Breaking Bad.
It's AMC.
Isn't this the logo? Oh, sorry, AMC. Isn't this the logo?
No.
Okay, never mind. Don't know then. I feel like I've seen this logo before, and I thought it was that. Hold on, let me do this. Oh, I know why. It's because I'm a nerd. It's a like computer company.
Weirdly, I was vibing computer company.
AMD.
Maybe I've just seen the little logo. Is it like they do like chips or something?
Yeah,
Like an
yeah.
AMD
Ryzen.
Yeah.
Ryzen. Yeah.
Yeah, and they make Breaking Bad, which is good.
And they make Breaking Bad. That's so funny. I was so convinced. I was like, yeah, I've seen that logo before. It's before Breaking Bad.
Computing is a good Reddit topic, but would that be more of a general subreddit about computing rather than a specific brand one?
Yeah. Being AMD specific, I
Yeah.
think, is not high and yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
This
Okay.
is side topic,
Yeah.
but do you ever go into a subreddit once and then Reddit's like, I'm going to push this subreddit on you so hard?
Oh, so
'Cause
annoying.
The other day, the trailer for the movie Project Hail Mary came out, which is a book I read a couple of years ago, I really liked.
Yeah.
And there must have been a post about it or something about the trailer, and I clicked it and it was on the r/Project Hail Mary subreddit. And I read through some of the comments. It's like, oh yeah, people seem pretty hot on this movie. And ever since then,
Yeah.
that subreddit keeps popping up in my
so
feed.
annoying, yeah.
It's like I'm not that interested. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry to have for some reason tricked you.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see general reaction to this one trailer.
It's like when it's the same algorithms for when you like go to find a microphone.
Yeah.
For podcasting, which I've done before, and then I only get Google ads for microphones.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, so what do you reckon? Introvert higher then?
I think so. Is it not?
Oh, it was close. 2.2 million versus 2.8. So we got it right. Okay, now we've got AMD versus r/game dev. I think
Game
I am
dev.
actually I've subscribed to the game dev.
Yeah, I would have
channel.
thought game dev would be higher. It's kind of a more general.
Maybe, yeah. I
Is
think
it too niche?
It's difficult, I reckon, to know. I'm tempted to say it's higher, but there are a lot of game development subreddits is the problem. Like, there'll only be one AMD one, right? Because what's
Why-
the point
why?
of having more than one?
This is more your world than mine.
Oh, no, I don't like that. I'm going to go back on it. I'm going to say AMD is higher.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. 1.9 million for game dev, 2.2 for AMD.
We never doubted it.
Never doubted it. Okay, game dev or r/home automation?
I reckon home automation will be higher.
Yeah, I reckon too. Yeah. 4.5 million.
Yeah.
Cambo, we're doing so well. Do you know I tried this, not the Reddit one, but like some other ones?
Yeah.
And I got like 2.
What
in a
are other
row.
categories that they do?
There's like video games, there's Google. which is
when you say
Googled
video
more.
games, like what are they higher or lowering?
So you can do
Critic
lots
score?
of different
Okay.
subgenres.
Yeah.
This Reddit one was only one, which has the most subscribers. But video games was like you can do highest, like grossing.
Yeah.
Or you can do critic score or player base,
Okay.
stuff like that. So, okay, we've got home automation versus r/teenagers.
Ooh. Do teenagers actually go to that, or is it like a parental thing?
My
'Cause, like,
knowledge is, I think
Yeah.
r/teenagers is very popular. Not necessarily with teenagers.
No, I would have thought it would be like, hey guys, look at this skateboard. And the teenagers are like, oh, we love skateboards.
Yeah. I've got a yo-yo.
Guys, I'm thinking of skipping school.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Okay,
think
so
it's
you reckon
just
teenagers is
full of
popular?
teenagers, I think.
No, surely not.
I fucked it. Yeah. No, it was 3.2 million versus the 4.5. Okay, well, you know what? Screw this.
People on Reddit care more about automating their lights in their homes than their teenage children.
Okay, do we want to quickly do another one? I'll give you other categories.
Okay, yeah, sure.
So Google, shopping, movies and TV, Spotify, Eurovision, sports, celebrity, geography, video games, richest, YouTube, cars, books, websites, Lego, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, TikTok, Instagram, my anime list, Olympics.
I mean, our strengths are either video games or TV and movies, I think. So
All right, let's do TV and movies because I fucking sucked at the video game. I tried that the other day. All right, now we've got subcategories.
Yep.
Ratings, score, anime movies, ratings, horror movies, ratings, family animation movies, ratings, Bollywood movies, ratings, Christmas movies, box office movies. Or then TV series that's like, seems like
I
very
think-
similar.
I think box office is a fun one.
Box office? Yeah, okay. You might also like most Googled movies. Nah, okay, let's do box office. Box office movies.
Yeah.
It's loading.
Tell you, if Avatar 2 comes up, we're just set.
Okay, yeah. It's just at the top forever and
Yeah.
ever.
Unless it's adjusted for inflation, I think. Which I'm going to assume it's
Yes. It says, by the way, updated August 2024.
Okay.
So,
It'll still be Avatar 2.
still be Avatar 2. Okay. Independence Day 1996 or Iron Man 3 2013?
Iron Man 3.
Yeah,
Made over $1 billion.
That seems way too... obviously, 817,000 for
So-
Independence Day.
Iron Man 3 released after the Avengers. It had the Avengers glow on it.
Yeah,
So it was
yeah,
the first
yeah.
independent
The Tony
Marvel to make
Stark,
over
yeah.
$1 billion.
Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's still Iron Man, right?
Yeah, it made $1 billion.
It's going to be Iron Man for a while.
Iron Man for a while.
Oh, no, because it changes. So
Oh,
now
yeah.
we're doing Indiana Jones versus Dunkirk 2017.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Ooh, this one seems like it could be pretty close.
The thing is, people do remember Indiana Jones as being a bad movie, but it
they
was a
saw
pretty
it.
successful
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, they saw it.
And Dunkirk was a much beloved movie.
did
You
many
know
people
what?
see it. I didn't even
Only
see
because
Dunkirk, I think.
they released more than 10 years apart, and I'm going to say inflation plays a part. I'm going to say
Ooh,
Dunkirk.
Okay, all right. No. 530,000.
530 million.
530 million. 530,000 would be
Oh my
a
God,
real
it's
bump.
atrocious.
Okay, we fucked up. Let's play again.
Okay.
And then last one, because like, I gotta go. God damn it. Oh no.
Is it loading?
Okay, I have to skip it out in 2 seconds. Okay, The Incredibles 2004 or The Great Gatsby 2013. Oh, even that I'm not sure about. They both seem big.
Kids' movies make a lot of money, though. But again, you're looking at 9 years of inflation between them. I would say
yeah.
Incredibles.
Yeah, I'm tempted to say that too. Oh, thank God. 631 million
Yeah.
versus 353. That's actually lower than I thought. I feel like Gatsby would have got. Anyway. Okay, The Fate of the Furious versus The Incredibles.
Fate of Furious, I reckon.
Yep. 1 billion, 236 million. I'm surprised it does that. I mean,
Well,
I like the movies because they're ridiculous, but like,
The one where Paul Walker died is the 7th, and that made $1 billion because there was kind of the whole thing about it. And I remember the second one still having the weird kind of glow of the
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
they've been going downhill since then.
okay, I feel like this one's definitely going to be The Fate of the Furious because it's against World War Z 2013.
Yeah, it'll be Fate of Furious.
Yeah. Yep, 540 million for World War Z, which is now up against Spider-Man 2 2004. It's got to be Spider-Man, right?
2.
784 million,
Yeah.
so it is, but not by, I mean, 200 million. I take that. I take that 200 million. Okay, Spider-Man 2 up against Maleficent, 2014.
Ooh, that's interesting. Maleficent was in the early Disney live-action remake era, and the reason that they keep doing them now is because initially they made so much money.
Yeah.
But was Maleficent one of them?
I wasn't sure that it did super well.
Yeah, I think, let's go the other one.
Spider-Man? All right. Oh, my God.
Did it make $1 billion?
759 versus 784. So we got it for Spider-Man, but only just. Okay, Maleficent versus X-Men Days of Future Past. Also 2014.
I think maybe Maleficent.
Oh.
But
You reckon?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's a tricky one.
Because, again, that came out just after the Avengers. I feel like people were hot on comic books. All right, you feeling Days of Future Past?
I don't know. Can be.
I chuck in Days of Future Past.
Okay, but you said it, not me. Oh, 746 million versus the 759. So again, it was very close. All right, I really have to go. I really have to go.
Do your outro, quick.
If you would like to write into us, you can do so. Reddit podcast, readitpodcast @gmail.com. You can also reach us at the subreddit or our Discord. The link is in the show notes. We'd also appreciate if you subscribe or like the show. And thanks for reading. We will read you later.
Bye.